All life depends upon water, and life is always more plentiful along rivers. Rivers are the veins of the earth. Perhaps surprisingly, you can tell a lot about the health of a river by looking at its shape. The overall shape of a river is in constant flux, pulsing in time through seasons, decades, and centuries, and pulsing in space across the river channel. When given enough space, a river will naturally tend towards a complex shape. For example, riverbanks naturally shift position as new material is deposited and old material is washed away. The overall flow of a river constantly changes too, driven by factors such as rainfall and snowmelt. Sometimes the flow can become more and more wild, at which point rivers perform one of their most dramatic tricks: tumultuous, raging floods that overtop their banks and flow chaotically across the river valley. The largest and most severe floods might occur only every few hundred or few thousand years, as if they'd been saving up their energy all that time. And yet, while these massive events are dangerous to the people and property that happen to be in the floodplain, periodic large floods are critical to the overall health of a river ecosystem. Floods deposit many types of nutrients, fertilizing the river valley and stimulating the growth of biodiverse forests. As forests age, river floodwaters can replenish them again and again. However, we have often forgotten these natural dynamics when settling the land around rivers. Over time, the pressures of land development and the construction of transportation corridors in particular have constrained rivers into narrower and straighter channels. When rivers can no longer change their shape freely, all of their natural cycles begin to degrade. And so, when rivers no longer have room to fertilize the valley floor, forests lose their main source of replenishment and eventually grow old and die. Straightening rivers also impacts the fish that live there. A healthy river has many different depths underneath the surface, including places where the water is deeper and moving more slowly, and places where the water is shallower and faster. Fish make use of all these different flow speeds. For example, the slower moving pools are often used as rearing areas for their young. When we straighten the surface of a river, we also alter the flow, resulting in less and less difference between the faster moving parts and the slower moving parts. Certain types of fish are not able to survive these changes in habitat, causing the fish population to become less abundant and less diverse. Now that we are beginning to understand some of the impacts of altering a river's shape, it's natural to ask, what now? How do we restore our rivers? There are many things we can do, but they all come from one basic idea. Rivers need as much space as we can give them. When we allow a river's original, complex shape to return, we also encourage its natural cycles to resume. River restoration benefits fish, forests, and people. With understanding and planning, we can revitalize our waterway ecosystems and reinvigorate the elegant and beautiful rivers that meander through our landscape.